Cohen. This is very scary stuff. I think if we've learned anything, it's to take ISIS seriously at this point. Would you agree?
I do agree, Lauren. And I think what's interesting about this, and I keep getting asked how serious this is as far as a threat. First, every threat needs to be taken seriously. To add to ISIS's credibility, they seem to be really good at this PR thing. And what I believe they're doing is they're using these threats, they're using the internet in order to incite recruitment.
Right.
So I think their strategy here is to take the lone wolf, which we haven't really taken that seriously, and make them the new face of terror. And that opens up the gates for millions and millions of idiots out there, you know, suffering from everything of, you know, from low self-esteem, trying to connect with something, to somebody, a disgruntled employee, to somebody who may be Muslim but didn't grow up with a connection to Islam and wanted to get more connected to the Middle East and can't quite access northern Iraq or northern Syria near Kobani, where the training is actually being provided to the real deal militants. This gives them a way to connect. And so I think it makes it really dangerous.
Because one of their biggest weapons is social media, and they can basically claim responsibility for anything and you know, basically recruit people online, and someone can say, yeah, I'm part of ISIS, and ISIS could essentially agree. And there you have your new recruit right there.
That's right, and it's the same way any PR firm would build a celebrity, in the sense that the perception can become the reality. Any idiot can go pick up a weapon and carry out an act of terror on behalf of the ISIS brand.
So when you have that threat, when you have ISIS calling for their sympathizers to inflict you know, jihad on Westerners wherever you are. You don't need to get on a plane and go to Syria. You don't need to come over here to Libya. You're there in Riverside, California. Go at it. Do us proud. How do you combat that threat? How do you prepare for it? And how do you have security for it? As we saw in Texas, even at an event like that, where we kind of thought
that event was...
They were prepared.
They were prepared, and in defense of that particular event, the woman who, Geller, who was targeted, is very specific with her brand of anti-Islam ideology, and while I agree and disagree with some of her ideology, they were more prepared because of the extreme nature of the event and the fact that it was challenging with this drawing of the Prophet Muhammad cartoons for a $10,000 award.
But as we've seen in the past, you don't need to challenge them much
for
them to
you don't.
Terror,
and I don't think that cartoons and drawing cartoons has anything to do with the reality of what we're seeing here. As far as to address your question, which I thought was really smart and to the point, at the end of the day, you're welcome. At the end of the day, I believe it's about our government agencies following and tracking all of those leads, and then tapping into those phones, getting those warrants to be able to listen to those conversations so that we can curb the next attack, and then making sure our first responders are trained to be able to deal with a terrorist threat, because we've seen what happened with school shootings. It's really hard to respond when somebody walks in with an automatic weapon. And so we have to make sure that all of that money is getting to the training, so that in the event that we do have to respond with terrorism, this is, again, what we learned in Israel: for every second you waste, another innocent person can be killed. For every round you miss when you're responding, another innocent person can be killed. So it really comes down to training and really good intelligence.
Right, and as you said, just taking everything seriously, right? Yeah. All right, Aaron Cohen, thank you very much.
Thanks, Aaron.
Thanks for having me.
Feel safer having you here. All right, so we have been